All right, guys, Us is out. Us is in theaters right now. This is Jordan Peele's sophomore film, his second film. A lot of people are talking about it. So many people are having questions. I'm having questions. Were you confused? Hopefully we can break everything down right here. So I just want to let you know, go ahead. This is a spoilers review. I will be dropping spoilers up, down, left, right, in and out, as if you've already seen this film, as if you've already seen Us. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you want to go in fresh, turn this video off, go watch my non-spoilery review, subscribe first, go watch that, then come back and we can get into all this nitty-gritty, all these spoilers, all these plot twists, things like that, whatever. So you have been warned. I will go ahead and say right now that I thought that Get Out was better. I can go ahead and say that right now. Did I still enjoy Us? Yes, I did for the most part. But while some things were answered for me in my second viewing, it still raised a lot of questions. And I want to talk about that with you now. So do you have the same questions? Let's get into it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Avery here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion, my Us spoilers movie review. You've got the warning and all that good stuff, but guys, I want to let you know I really do appreciate it. So I just told you that I like Get Out more than Us, and we can talk about that a little bit later. We're going to get into a lot of things. Clones are taking over the United States. They are trying to make a statement. Who made them? Why did they make them? We're going to get into all that. You know, we got the big switch at the end, the reveal that the whole time Adalia was a clone, and her shadow, her doppelganger, her tether was the original human being. Well, of course, we got the Hands Across America, 1986. We got some redlining literally, and you know, as a metaphor, Jeremiah 11:11, and we're going to get into these character decisions and things like that. Also, in my non-spoiler review, guys, I did not have a rating for this film. I just was not able to provide a rating, but I do have one now. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that now. I will tell you at the end, and I feel pretty good about it. Some of you guys will agree with me. Some of you won't, as all films, because all films are subjective, but I'm even writing it down right now because I just feel that good about it. Now, when I walked out of the film initially for Get Out, I was frustrated yet entertained, kind of just like, you know, I'm disappointed, but wow, I'm still blown away at the same time. It just had so many questions. And I talked to my friends about it. I watched a couple explain videos. I have seen the film twice now, and while some things are fleshed out more, and of course I noticed some more things the second time around, there are still some questions that I have that this film does not answer. Some I'm okay with not having an answer to it. You can fill in the blanks, suspend your disbelief just a little bit, but some of the stuff still just don't make sense to me. But before we get into all that, I want to talk about the character decisions, because while I did not give a rating for the film, this has a big weight on that rating that I'm going to give, and that's what the characters were doing in this film. Lupita Nyong'o, you've heard a lot of people say it before, her performance was freaking fantastic. She deserves to be nominated for an Oscar. I know we're only in the third week of the year, but she is up there. Can she be knocked down? But sure, she was great in both roles, as Red and as Dahlia. I mean, she's just very convincing, just saying real good the way Jordan Peele is as director. I noticed that he does a great job of making black people look, you know, crazy when they're crying or whatever. You know, he is very convincing there. I don't know if this is a representation of how black people feel in this country. We always sad and crying, but we saw Daniel Kaluuya's crying eyes, and we saw Lupita Nyong'o's crying eyes. We also saw Zora, her character, Shahadi Wright Joseph. You know, he's really good at shooting black people crying or whatever. But about that, let me get to, I liked her character for the most part. There was nothing about her character that I did not like, but we got to talk about Winston Duke. I did not like his character at all. I thought he was a very weak individual. I thought he was a textbook deep definition, bitch, just meaning a weak individual. I mean, somebody that I would not be proud of. Now, if you want to be realistic, every man, every husband, every father is not some universal strong man. So you don't have to expect that every single time for a film to be good. There are a lot of men out there that are just not fighters, you know what I'm saying? And that's perfectly fine. But in this film right here, one of the things that I did not like is showing how Winston Duke's character Gabe, he got progressively worse. He didn't stay the same, or he didn't get better. He got weaker and weaker as the film went on. One of the most frustrating things was at the end of the film where Red, or the original human being, kidnapped Jason while they was in the middle of the streets, while he killed his doppelganger while walking back like this. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I know you're hurt a little bit, but you're just really not putting forth an effort to get your wife back. Or your family back. Why didn't you just hop into the car at that point in time and try to chase them? I mean, you didn't do anything. You was continuing making jokes with Zora when y'all was hiding behind the ambulance at the end of the movie, where all the tethered people, all the clones were making the red line. You were talking about, man, is that some effed up performance arts piece? Like, why are you joking around this time, dude? Clones are taking over the world for all that you know, and you're talking about effing performing arts piece. And Zora looked back at him like this, like, will you shut the hell up? Like, I'm like that too. It's just a lot of people were just talking about how funny they thought this film was, and that's fine. All films are subjective. If you thought it was funny, and Gabe's character, Winston Duke's character, was the comic relief for you, that is great, but he wasn't the comic relief for me. He was annoying and he was cringy, and his character could have gotten better, but it gotten weaker. You know, like, let's say Carol from The Walking Dead. I don't watch that show anymore, but in the first season, she was very soft, very frail, very fragile. She was very weak, but given the circumstances that she was in, you know what I'm saying? It's fight or flight, you know what I'm saying? Live or die, kill or be killed. And she became a badass. So I don't mind Winston Duke's character being weak in the beginning and being a little scared and not handling the situation before. I mean, in the right way the first time. Everybody is not Rambo. But not only is this the zombie apocalypse, this is the zombie clone apocalypse, and you making Home Alone jokes? No, bro, it is time to get serious. And you want, like, a great plot point in this movie would have been where he was laying in the bed, like, oh, you know, trying to be sexy or whatever, right before Adalia said, hey, I'm ready to go. He was trying to get some. That was a funny moment in the movie. I will give you that. Him showing himself how strong he is and his character progress at the end of the movie, you know, he trying to get some, he not able to get none from his wife because she not in the mood. You know, she could have looked at him like, oh, baby, or something like that, corny, I know. Just like, oh, man, you really taking strong, but his wife going to charge him up. You are not making the decisions anymore. No, the hell you're not. Talking about Home Alone jokes. I mean, it's just things like that that really did frustrate me about his character. Now, one of the greatest scenes in this movie to me, one of the best scenes, was when the clone family and the original family met up face to face. You know, there's 4 of them, 1-1-1-1. We got a lot of 11s and 1-1s in this film that was popping up everywhere. Mental note where we coming back to the scene coming together. Of course, we got there Jeremiah 11:11, which I'm going to read. When the family first showed up on the Santa Cruz beach, when they was walking in the line, their shadows represented 11:11:11. At the very beginning of the movie, where they were showing a flashback of Adalia, and she was like, hey, her father was like, hey, do you want the prize from number 2 or number 3? And the mom said, don't look at me, it's your birthday. I want number 11. She said 11. I said the Jeremiah 11:11. The Hands Across America commercial was either on channel 11 or it came on TV on number 11. Right before the clone family showed up at the house, there was like a baseball, football. It was some game come on. The score was 11-11. The Twins was 11-11. And that ties in, like, you know, a 1-1 parallel, mirrors reflecting off of each other, and how all that's tying into the movie as well. So I just went on a little 11-11 rant. Oh, yeah, going back to what I was saying, the best scene in the movie for me was when the two families met up. The way he shot the film, it was a wide shot. You got a line of people over here and a line of people over here. And, you know, you had the that beat or whatever by the gentleman. What's his name? I got so many notes for everything is, what is your name, sir? Because I'm going to give you some credit. Music by Mr. Michael Abels. He did Detroit. He was he was in charge of the ambient music on that film, and he was killing it in this thing too. And he also worked on Get Out as well. So he's talented over there. He was killing it doing that scene when they would just come together right there. And then just seeing Lupita's face and both characters doing the scene, it was just dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? But this is just an example going back to the character decisions, something I was just pissed off in the film, and I couldn't talk about this before. Everybody is freaking out like, what the hell, man? I'm not finna be cracking, like, who are you people? Like, I'm just gonna be like, what the F? I see my clone in front of me, like, He got a master. What is going on, man? Like, oh, Lord God, please, come on. Like, come save me. Oh, and that's not what happened, because we got Jeremiah. Let me go ahead and read that real quick. Jeremiah 11:11. Therefore, thus says the Lord, behold, I will surely bring calamity. Calamity means destruction, disaster, on them which they will not be able to escape, and they'll cry out to me, I will not listen to them. This right here is talking about the broken covenant in the Bible, God delivering his people to the promised land or on their process. And, they're not listening, want to do their own thing. And then, but God's like, hey, I done laid everything out for you. Y'all tripping, y'all acting crazy. I'm going to bring a wrath upon y'all and mess everything up. That tied into this movie too. I was just saying myself, like, oh, Lord God, please come help. Nobody knows what's going on. They getting sliced and diced by clones and things like that. Nobody's coming to save them or whatever. And well, I feel like I'm jumping around too much. There's just so much to unpack in this movie. I'm gonna come back to that. But doing this scene right here, I really love the performance from Shahadi, Zora Wilson. It was great. Like, real talk, she was like another crying face. Like, she was scared. That was a perfect natural reaction. That was great. That made sense. It was realistic to me. We got Gabe over here talking about, who are you guys? You want my wallet? Look, I'll just take you to the ATM. And it's not funny, man. What the hell? Like, who's going to be reacting that way when you have a freaking clone of yourself in front of you? That is not normal stuff. The zombie apocalypse is more normal than that, or at least I'm probably saying it because I know the rules and things like that. But his character was just like really, really frustrating me. So I know, this part I was talking about the character decision. Also, when they were trying to drive the car. I'm like, come on, man, y'all need to get this together. Like, I don't care. Like, fine, you in the driver's seat, drive. We need to get the F out of here. We need to, it's a long shot, but it needs to be on to do this. Like, we may need to fly off the planet. We have no way in hell of knowing how to do so, but at least if we go to Houston, maybe we can. I'm being silly, but at the same time, you have to kind of think like that. Like, okay, we need to get the F out of here. But, so I really didn't like the driver thing. That just kind of pissed me off. Winston Duke, when he was watching his wife get abducted, when they went over to the house, and we saw that what is her name? Excuse me, guys, I'm so sorry. They're friends. Why am I having a hard time finding it? But they're friends that they met at Josh Tyler and what is her name? I'm tripping big time. Excuse me, y'all know what I'm talking about. But when they went over there too, they had the twins, and when they knocked on the door, and then Adalia hit old dude in the head with not the pitchfork, but the poker, the fire poker. And then they pulled her in and kidnapped her. Like, what are you doing? Like, he didn't even like try to go save his wife or whatever. He wants to like limp back to the desk, not the desk, he wants to limp back to the boat to get the flare gun, and the flare gun dude don't do anything. I know they brought it up before and early in the movie, but I'm just like, bro, like, why are you not fighting for your woman? Like, of course, that's why she not giving you none, because, like, she know you're a punk. Like, it's like seriously, this is just, like, really bugging me and, like, clocking me out of the movie. And I really have to talk about this, even if y'all find this is obvious, but these are just one of the things that just kind of bother me in the film. And I didn't like the Home Alone jokes. First of all, you find some clones exactly like your whole family, just the whole family. And then you go next door, and then you see that they got clones of your friends too. We in some next level Twilight Zone stuff right here. This is apocalypse stuff, like, and they just all just kind of sitting there at the table, and Jason said that, okay, man, I wonder how many twins there are of everybody, and that's when they turned on the news. But it's like, why y'all so relaxed? Like, I would have been let down all the blinds, put couches over the doors, and make sure all the windows are locked and things like that. That's just how I just been freaking out, just like one, like, whoa. I still would have kept my composure, but that just would have seemed like a more realistic reaction. But just something else that bothered me that I couldn't talk about before. I like the reveal that this was some type of demonstration on the news, but the camera guy, why was the cameraman just sitting there watching? They was reporting themselves that people in red are coming out killing everybody, and there's multiple events all across the land, across the United States. And then they see he's narrating, seeing the people making a line on the news, and this is what the Wilson family is watching, right? And the cameraman is watching a guy finna come up and kill him. Like, what are you doing? Back up, back all the way up. Film inside the car. Run the F away. Like, I'm just gonna watch you stab me. Like, what the hell, man? This is some true cult stuff. And you just gonna sit there and keep filming? I'm just like, I don't know, everybody else eating it up. I'm just like, why is Jordan Peele failing into little basic concepts and directing the film? Like, I just have to be honest, guys. These things are like bothering me, So I have 2 pages of notes right here. This is going to be very well. So I talked about all those things right there. Also, like one of the things I really did like was when Zora beat the twin, the clone, the tethered, or the doppelganger with the club, one of the twin girls. But like Jason wasn't doing nothing. He had the thing like, why would you came in and you killed one of them, bro, but y'all should have been like tag teaming his ass or her ass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You hit low, I hit high, you short anyway, like, what are you doing? Like, you could have got in there and swung something to push or kick or something, or like when they went out and then Adalia came back in to get the keys and she got the phone, and the twin that fell on the table, when she realized that got up, she had to run over, she fighting, why you not screaming, help, somebody help, I'm by myself, she not screaming, like, I don't understand. Like, these are just things that just really bother me, and I did not like it. But yeah, I was talking about the 11:11 on the beach, the clock, the Bible verse we talked about, the T-shirt, the sports game. It was on TV. The twins itself. Now, let me see. So yeah, I talked about and everybody like Winston Duke was just not funny to me. Okay, I'm through my first page of notes real quick right here. Now, almost. Now, one of the things I would have liked this film much better if it wasn't for the ending twist, where we found out that the clone, the doppelganger, the tether, choked Adalia as a little girl and they switched places. That raised more questions and starts bringing on plot holes that just don't make sense to me. Now, before I saw this film the second time, I was just saying to myself, now, wait a minute. If the clone choked the girl out and they switched, why the F did the original Dahlia, the original human, just go back up the stairs? Like, yes, she changed it to the bed. And obviously you got free because we saw you dancing. Why did you just stay down there? I was thinking, okay, I have to go back and watch. And when I went back and watched the second time, I was like, oh yeah, as soon as she got choked and fell out, she passed out. And then she got drugged down, because I was thinking the first time I didn't remember everything. I was like, why weren't you fighting back? I mean, like, y'all the same size. She can't. Well, they did appear to be stronger, but she passed out and she woke up chained to the bed. So she may not have known that she was underground or whatever. However, I still do not believe that you don't have the will enough to escape. To where like, okay, last time I was here, I was with my mom and dad. My dad was kind of drunk or whatever. It was my birthday. I was getting toys. And then I went to some mirror stuff. Now I'm down here. Like, did she have amnesia? They didn't say that. I was listening because so I just don't understand why the original human did not go back upstairs or try to find their way out of there, or any of the clones. That just did not make sense to me. Now, it makes sense that she was not able to talk anymore because she got choked out. I get all that. Some people were saying that this whole thing, it was predictable and they could see it coming. I did not see it coming or whatever. But what raises another question is when the original human that went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, when she was drawing the line, the hands across America, across the blackboard, explaining it to the clone. And that's another thing. How did the clone forget? Why is the clone pretending the whole time that you don't know that there are clones down here? Like, did you forget yourself? That's why this twist at the end makes the film worse to me, because both characters forgot. The original human forgot that she was real and forgot to go back upstairs. And the clone itself forgot that she was a clone, basically, in my opinion. I mean, how did you forget that there's some people down here? Now, I know that's why you didn't want to go back to the Santa Cruz Beach. You were scared. You remember the little girl that you switched places with, like, damn, she going to come back and try to get revenge or whatever on me. But you seem so evil and sinister there. But you not that way on top. Now, when you did kill the original, you choked her, you started that was a giveaway. Like, whoa, you was a clone the whole time, because that's how all the clones talk. That was their speech pattern. That's how they communicated. But that right there bothered me with the switch or whatever. Something else that bothered me too is the consciousness. What is it, a one or two way consciousness? Was it a one or two way connection? Because when it was being explained to us, when they were doing the reenactment, everybody was in the carnival. All the clones were down in the basements and stuff like that, mimicking or copying our moves and things like that. It seemed like whatever the people were doing on top is what they were doing at the bottom. They were doing the real thing. So if they switched places, Red and Adalia, it seemed like, how does the clone control the real human at the bottom when they were dancing? You see what I'm saying? So how does it switch like that? If the people on top were the ones controlling the ones at the bottom, since they switched Adalia, the real human at the bottom, she should be the one controlling the clone that's up top now. But the clone up top now was learning ballet, and that was transferring back down to the original human. That don't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. Am I missing something here? And then, you know, they had to survive off rabbits. Are they going to run out of rabbits? I mean, how can they just survive off of rabbits? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, am I not supposed to take this film literally? Now, are the rabbits, do they keep having sex as well and having baby rabbits? But I just think that the food thing would have ran out. And another thing that just bothers me about this, while it was just it was a clever idea and very thought provoking and deep and had so many type of references and I finna say memories, mysteries and allegories and metaphors and things like that. The physical space of all them doing that will just not match up. I know that she explained it to where Jason, I finna say Harpo, not Harpo, but Pluto was born into fire, and one was born this way and the other one died laughing and all that good stuff. But I just cannot wrap the physical space around Red and Abraham meeting down there and being forced to be together because they're tethered. And, you know, them having a baby, raising a baby, sanitation, all that good stuff. That's just kind of hard for me. That's just kind of hard for me to wrap myself around that. Now, I do like in the car that Zora was talking about, there's fluoride in the water and the government is trying to control us. So that's possibly how, you know, they made the tether because they wanted to control the people above. And they said, and Red, the original human, who we thought was a clone, was like, they failed and they abandoned the project. Well, why don't you just go down there and kill them all? I don't want to hear nothing saying that you have a heart down there, human too, because you built them in the first place. Are you not afraid they're going to revolt and just break out of there? I mean, like, come on. They say y'all been doing this for generations. You think they're not just going to get stronger and stronger and break out? If you fail, why don't you go down there and kill them all? Now the whole United States is gone. And I don't get, and you know, it's like, another thing with the twist, it would have been so much better. Is just like, look, man, we were born into a world that we cannot control. We are tethered to y'all. We don't even have a soul, and y'all get to experience the sky and water and wind and things like that. And we down here mimicking y'all like, you know, like Pinocchio. This is crap, man. We finna take revenge. And that was the plot of the movie, the clones taking revenge back. And she said that she just didn't want to kill them. She wanted to make a statement, the hands of America. So they making a statement that the whole world can see, because they got the helicopters and stuff looking down. But it's not their clone that's doing it. It's the original human that came down. So I'm just like, she should have went back up there in the first place. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around this, but I'm assuming it was the government that made the clones and things like that. But you know, these are just some things that, and the Hands Across America, 1986, that's a real thing. It was 6 million people that they wanted to get together to raise $100 million. And to my understanding, it did not work out all the way. But, you know, God sent that wrath, like he said in Jeremiah 11:11, to wreak havoc upon everybody. And I'm just going over my notes real quick. I don't want to leave anything out because I had so many questions. What did I mean? Like, I know she said it was a lot of planning, but y'all got all these red suits too and these golden shears. Like, I mean, come on. Did y'all all have to get golden shears? I mean, you know, like, what's going on? Like, who made all these clothes for y'all? These people didn't have a soul. They went crazy down there. So these are just questions that wasn't answered to where I understood the movie, but I was just like, I just got to think about this again. I can't get no rating of this. Also, the connection itself, like, we saw Jason at the end control his tethered person walking back in the fire. Like, when does that come on and off? I don't get it. Another message in this film is just like, you know, they were saying that this doesn't have to do with race. I mean, it can, But you know, to me, I got classism out of it as well. The upper class or the middle class is on the top, while the lower class, the poor, the broke, the oppressed are on the bottom, and the oppressed are mad and they coming back for revenge. You know, a lot of messages in this film. I'm not going to copy anybody else's. I've heard a lot, but I'm not going to say them like they're mine or anything like that. That would be cheating. I really do like the Vision Quest thing, Find Yourself. That's where everything, I mean, it was very coincidental, the film. They addressed that as well. I liked also how one of the actresses, I forget her name. I'm so sorry, guys. What is her name? I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering. But Elizabeth Moss, my goodness gracious, Elizabeth Moss, when she was at the beach and said that she got the work done, that's why her doppelganger was cutting her face too. But it was a great film. I really did enjoy it. It was a great idea. But still, some of those character decisions that I listed earlier just brings the film down for me. Like, I think I gave Get Out like a 9.5, but because we have all these character interactions and them not reacting in a realistic way to me, and then all these lingering questions that just aren't answered that I addressed right here. If I had to rate Us out of a 1 out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Yes, a 6.5 out of 10. That's still positive to me. There was still a lot of great things in this film, but there were just too many unanswered questions, which I think I addressed here, and also all those character decisions, especially by Mr. Winston Duke, Mr. Gabe. I just wasn't feeling it, guys. But that is just my opinion for Us, my spoiler review. What did you think? Spoil away down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't, that's fine, but you can still subscribe to my channel. You can also look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All that good stuff is right there at the bottom of your screen, and I made it very easy by providing a link to all that down in the description box below. But guys, I just want to thank you again for tuning into my opinion / review / reaction Us Spoilers, written, directed, produced by Jordan Peele. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.